Welcome to the weekly horoscopes for the week of November 24th to November 30th, 2008. Please visit our website at www.dailyscopes.com for your in-depth astrology readings. Dear Aries, this week's scenario is highlighted by you realizing it is this time you put extra energy into thinking about and organizing your work and professional life. Decisions you make at this time are likely to work out well, as you are clear and objective. Gathering information regarding your career or long-range goals is also favored. You have a lot of mental energy and are eager to attack intellectual or conceptual problems. You are likely to come up with a clever solution or a very workable plan, especially if you brainstorm with others. You also tend to make up your mind very quickly and decisively now and to translate your ideas into action.
Dear Taurus, this week's scenario is highlighted by you having a low tolerance for boredom and following rules today, and you make some creative changes and discoveries, experiment with new possibilities, or invent a new way of doing things. You don't want to follow anybody else's lead at this time, but fortunately you are able to find ways to be yourself and even be a little crazy without offending or upsetting others. This is a dynamic and exciting period. Take advantage of any unusual offers or opportunities.
Dear Gemini, this week's scenario is highlighted by staying inside the guidelines. There is no need to take risks, so avoid wild speculation. A very positive avenue for growth is available to you now. This growth and progress in career is very personally fulfilling and rewarding because the work is meaningful to you, not just a means of making money. Consequently, you feel good about yourself, and this spills over into a happy attitude towards your family. Improvements in your domestic life are also likely. Do not sit back and watch this influence pass you by. You may feel so comfortable that you do little to take full advantage of the opportunities.
Dear Cancer, this week's scenario is highlighted by you is a time for positive, decisive action on your part, forging ahead, taking the initiative. Try not to do so in a completely insensitive, arrogant manner, as this will almost certainly work against you. Friendships and cooperative endeavors flourish now. You achieve a harmonious balance of giving and receiving and of talking and listening, and any social or joint activity will benefit. At this time you must guard against being too aggressive, coming on too strong, or trying to force your own will and thereby arousing hostility in others. Also, frustrated desires and obstacles to achieving your aims can evoke enormous anger in you, and you may do something rash and regrettable. Conflicts and confrontations may be unavoidable, but do try to avoid situations which you know will provoke or irritate you. Working alone is best at this time.
Dear Leo, this week's scenario is highlighted by a tendency to overreact, to go to extremes, or to try to force your intentions on others regardless of the appropriateness of your actions. A minor crisis in the domestic sphere or an emotional confrontation is possible. Communication along personal lines, such as corresponding with a friend or telephoning a relative, are favored. Memories, thoughts of the past, or even fragments of dreams come into your mind. At this time you will want to branch out. You have the energy to do more and take on more challenges.
Dear Virgo, this week's scenario is highlighted by you putting extra energy into thinking about and organizing your work and professional life. Decisions you make at this time are likely to work out well, as you are clear and objective. Gathering information regarding your career or long-range goals is also favored. This is an excellent time to be out and about. There are significant opportunities to make connections, exchange information, and to learn something through a meeting or chance encounter. Letters, phone calls, and conversations that you initiate are productive at this time.
Dear Libra, this week's scenario is highlighted by your concentration, which is excellent now, and you are serious about your work. You want to focus on real accomplishment and avoid frivolity and distractions. You may fruitfully tackle difficult, disagreeable tasks or work that usually frustrates you, for your patience and ability to do painstaking work is brought out now. Self-control and self-discipline are required of you at this time, but, fortunately, they yield positive results in the long run. You come across assertively, competitively, and energetically now, so much so that you may arouse others' animosity. You don't want to slow down or accommodate other people's needs and resent it hotly if your own desires have to take a back seat to others' will and wishes.
Dear Scorpio, This week's scenario is highlighted by hidden passions, fears, jealousies, longings, desires, or needs surface in you now and can stir up trouble in your closest relationships. You are prone to be compulsive or demanding in a close relationship, to be emotionally driven and to force things to a head in some emotionally laden situation. Positively, a relationship can be deepened and reborn now, given new life by your willingness to reveal yourself completely to your loved one. Your efforts to get ahead and advance your own interest are likely to be met with resistance or animosity. You seem overeager, pushy, inconsiderate, or too narrowly focused on your own objectives, so that you alienate the people who could help you.
Dear Sagittarius, this week's scenario is highlighted by one side of you being impatient to make some major changes. You are tired of the same old routine and lifestyle. You want to break free and get things really moving. You feel there is much more to life, and you are not growing and living as fully as you ought to be. The other side of you is wary of the changes. They may just be pipe dreams and simply lead to considerable stress and disappointment. Underlying all this is the nagging question of what you really value and whether the new opportunities are more worthwhile than your current involvements. Unfortunately, no one can make the decisions for you, and you have to sort things out for yourself.
Dear Capricorn, this week's scenario is highlighted by your enjoyment of emotional satisfaction and harmony in your home life. Relationships with others run smoothly. If you have a solid emotional base in your life, you will receive the benefits of that. If not, this is a good time to begin making connections with people and also to discover what gives real emotional nourishment and fulfillment. Your vitality and courage are strong now and you are eager to meet challenges. You can accomplish a great deal of work, especially if it involves physical effort. If you are active in sports, you will be especially competitive and vigorous now. Self-confidence is high. You feel more lackadaisical now, less focused on mundane tasks, and possibly less energetic as well. Your imagination and fantasy life is very active and you can dream up some very creative ideas. Negatively, you tend to dissipate your energy or to avoid the real world.
Dear Aquarius, this week's scenario is highlighted by you being in a festive, partying mood and just want to play and share a good time with your friends. Community social events and fellowship are very rewarding now. Also, at this time it is hard for you to say no to food, drink, or extravagances in any form. You are also very generous and tolerant toward others. Though you feel wonderful now, you're likely to regret your actions later if you don't curtail your impulses to overindulge, overspend, and enjoy too much of a good thing. Significant changes and opportunities face you at this time, but making the correct decision about what to do is not easy. This is a period of critical decisions and transition. A major change in your life can occur now: new job, relocating, ending a long-term relationship or beginning a new one, etc. In fact, it is not unusual for several important changes of this nature to be occurring.
Dear Pisces, this week's scenario is highlighted by dreams, wishes, and fantasies about love which are strong now, and you may be infatuated with someone you meet at this time, only to be disappointed later when you discover this person does not fulfill all of your expectations. You are simply not seeing people objectively now. Your imagination is very active and creative, however, and so is your yearning for something beautiful. The artist in you emerges, and your creations please and inspire you.
Please visit our website at www.dailyscopes.com for your in-depth astrology readings. That's all for now. We wish you a wonderful start into the new week. Your friends at DailyScopes.com.